Welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're heading out to the foothills of California's Sierra Nevada mountains.
Oh, beautiful country.
It is. And it's got, that legendary gold rush history, right?
Right.
Well, guess what? We're about to dig into a potential gold mine smack dab in the middle of it all. The Mount Vernon mine.
And you've brought its technical report. Wow, this is a page-turner.
It is. And we're here to unearth its secrets.
It really does feel like we're about to crack open a treasure chest.
Exactly. And every good treasure hunt needs a map, right? So let's rewind the clock back to the 1850s when the California gold rush was in full swing. Picture this: bustling mining camps, prospectors with their hearts full of hope, and the sound of pickaxes ringing out against the rock. This is where the Mount Vernon mine story begins, and trust me, it's a story that glitters with gold right from the very start. No whispers of gold here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, forget whispers. We're talking shouts. This report, it's got a miner's note in it from 1854. 5 guys bragging about pulling in ounces of gold like every day. One day they hit 26 ounces, the next 38. I mean, they struck it so rich.
I know, right? Can you imagine? They were probably tripping over nuggets out there. And it gets even wilder. Get this. You're panning for gold, expecting maybe a few cents worth.
Wow, if you're lucky.
But with the Mount Vernon mine, they found a section of tunnel where a single pan yielded $1 worth of gold.
Wow.
20 times richer than what was considered, normal.
It's all about being in the right place at the right time, right?
Right. And these aren't just tall tales being spun around a campfire. These historical accounts paint a very real picture of a mine practically overflowing with gold right from those early days.
Oh, without a doubt.
Okay, but it gets even better. Get this. In 1888, a 90-ounce gold nugget was discovered there. Just imagine holding that beast in your hand. Today, that single nugget would be worth a cool $180,000.
Now, that's the kind of discovery that would make headlines even today.
I know, right?
But the story of the Mount Vernon mine doesn't end there, does it? It's had quite a journey.
And judging by all the buzz surrounding this technical report, they might be onto something really, really big here.
Yeah.
But what makes this particular mine so special? I mean, why all this promise now? It's like they've stumbled onto, a gold mine within a gold mine.
Yeah.
The report says the Mount Vernon mine, it's not your average run-of-the-mill operation. It's got 2 different types of gold deposits, and that's pretty rare, right?
It is, yeah. And that's what makes this mine extra interesting, It's like having 2 treasure chests, each with its own map, and both potentially stuffed with gold.
Okay, so before we get too carried away with all the excitement, let's break down those 2 types of deposits. Let's start with the first one, paleoplacer deposits.
All right, so picture this. Millions of years ago, you've got these ancient rivers flowing through the mountains. They're carrying gold that's been eroded from even older deposits. Over time, volcanic eruptions and mudslides, they bury these rivers under layers of rock and sediment.
So it's like these ancient riverbeds are frozen in time with all that gold trapped inside.
Exactly, and we call them paleoplacer deposits. They're famous for containing gold nuggets, sometimes really big ones. And this is where the Mount Vernon mine really gets exciting. You see, it sits right on something called the Great Blue Lead.
Okay, Great Blue Lead, that rings a bell. Isn't that like the mother lode of ancient gold-bearing rivers?
You got it. It's like a superhighway of gold snaking through what used to be California. And the Mount Vernon Channel, which cuts right through this mine, it's thought to be a prime piece of that system. And as we know from those old accounts we were talking about, it's a prime spot for those big gold nuggets. Remember that 90-ouncer we mentioned?
Oh yeah, I'm starting to see why they call it the Great Blue Lead. But hold on, we've got 2 types of deposits here. What about those auriferous quartz veins? What are those all about?
Even cooler, I'd say. Picture cracks in the Earth's crust. Molten rock and mineral-rich fluids are flowing through them. As the fluid cools, it forms these veins of quartz. And sometimes, if you're lucky, gold gets trapped inside those veins.
So it's like nature's way of hiding gold in plain sight. Are these veins common in gold mines?
They can be, but the ones at Mount Vernon, those are something else. Just a few miles away, you've got the Allegheny District, famous for its auriferous quartz veins. So the potential at Mount Vernon with those ancient riverbeds and these potentially super rich quartz veins, well, it's pretty remarkable.
Okay, so we've got the historical context and these tantalizing clues. But does the recent exploration back it up? Does the reality match the hype? So we've got these ancient rivers practically paved with gold, and then you've got these potentially crazy rich quartz veins. It almost sounds too good to be true.
Yeah.
But this technical report, it outlines this whole big exploration program from 2022 to 2023.
Oh, yeah. They brought in some serious tech. They used this cutting-edge 3D modeling to map out the whole mine, all the underground workings, everything.
It's like giving those old-time prospectors X-ray vision.
All right.
Okay, so they've got this incredible 3D map, but a map only gets you so far, right?
You gotta dig.
What do they find down there?
Well, they focused on something called channel sampling, which sounds simple enough, but it's actually pretty clever. Imagine, like, taking a bite out of a layer cake to taste each layer.
Oh, okay.
So that's basically what channel sampling does.
So they're strategically taking samples to get a sense of the gold in different areas.
Yeah, exactly. And they really focused on the zone where the gold-bearing gravel meets the bedrock, because historically, that's where the richest concentrations of gold are.
Okay, enough with the suspense.
Mm.
What did those samples tell them? Did the Mount Vernon mine live up to all that hype from the old days?
You are not going to believe this. Remember we were talking about those Allegheny District veins?
Yeah.
Well, the channel samples from the Mount Vernon channel averaged 1.71 ounces of gold per ton.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Even the average grade is really high. Were there any spots that were, like, truly out of this world?
There's this one detail in the report, it blew my mind. They hit this layer of something called degraded hematite. It's a type of iron oxide. I double-checked. It's an amazing find. And to put it in perspective, they compare it to the nearby Ruby mine in the report. The Ruby mine, which is already known for being really productive.
Right.
The Ruby mine pulls from the same Great Blue Lead system as Mount Vernon.
Wow. It's like those old whispers of gold were just the tip of the iceberg.
It's a great analogy. But here's the thing. This report doesn't just rely on this new exploration data, as exciting as it is.
Right.
They combine it with all that historical data to estimate the Mount Vernon channel's proven reserves.
And proven reserves, that means they're confident that gold is actually there.
Yeah, ready to be mined. This isn't just a guessing game. Based on their calculations, the Mount Vernon channel alone has a proven reserves of gold.
Holy moly.
We are talking about a gold mine just waiting to be unlocked.
What's next?
The report really emphasizes that they need to do more exploration, especially with those quartz veins. They need to figure out how extensive they are. They're recommending more channel sampling, more core drilling, and even something called underground long hole drilling.
Underground long hole drilling. What's that?
Basically, it's a way to drill deep angled holes to get samples from those veins, like taking a biopsy of the earth. That'll tell them the size, the orientation, and most importantly, the gold grade of those veins.
But even after all this, they're still just scratching the surface of what the Mount Vernon mine could be. It really makes you wonder what other secrets are still out there, buried beneath our feet.
It really does. You know, we've gone from panning for gold in ancient rivers to 3D modeling to uncovering the potential for a gold mine. It's been quite a ride.
It really has. Well, there you have it, folks, another deep dive complete. We hope you enjoyed this journey into the heart of a potential gold mine. Until next time, keep exploring, and who knows, maybe you'll stumble upon your own treasure map.